It was that time of year again when the bushes needed to be trimmed. I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy, so that means I get to be the one that trims the bushes. So I set out with my ladder to trim up some tall bushes with an electric hedger. An electric hedger has a cord that needs to be plugged in for it to have power. As you know, cords can be pulled out of socket, and some easier than others. This cord came out pretty easy. As long as it was connected, it worked like a charm. However, keeping it connected had become an exhausting task. The cord kept disconnecting. To receive God's grace involves my acceptance of it. Like a receiver in football reaches out and accepts the ball into his arms, I must open my mind and heart to receive God's goodness. I connect to God with my heart, mind, soul, and strength toward God's character. As I embrace God's character in this manner, I build connection. Pause the video here to share and connect. Disconnection happens, and I wouldn't always notice. I just realized at some point I was lost and wondered what happened to God. But the truth is, God was there. I just didn't plug in. God is always there, but I'm the one that has to plug in. I have to choose God over and over every day. There was a time early in my spiritual development when I became disconnected and I felt lost. I wondered what happened. I did not understand. I felt abandoned. Why would God do this to me? Things gradually got worse, and it never improved until I sought help from someone who redirected my heart, mind, soul, and strength toward God. It's important to see where we are going, what we are seeking, and what goals we are achieving. There was a time when I believed messages in my mind that would guide me into spiritual destruction. They were not godly messages. I needed to think differently and add godly thoughts. I needed to connect my mind with God's character. One day I decided to examine and explore the situation with my hedger. Was there something else that I had not seen? Could this connection be improved? Was there some way to wrap or tie the cord to the hedger? As I examined the situation, I saw what looked like a U shape. Now I've seen this before, but discounted it because it didn't look like anything to use with the cord. It didn't make sense to me, but this time, out of irritation, I looked hard for a way to improve this connection. I decided to try to make something out of this U-shaped thing and shove the cord under it to see if it could help stay plugged in longer. Sure enough, it helped. It wasn't perfect, but it was an improvement. It would still fall out from time to time, but it stayed on much longer and saved me a lot of frustration. There are plenty of resources we can use every day to help us connect to God. Just like the hedger experience, the frustration from my disconnect with God got me to examine thoroughly how I could tie in better, stay connected longer, and experience God deeper. My new method with the hedger was an improvement, but eventually the cord still worked its way out. Curiosity got me thinking again, because although the new method was better, it still wasn't right. I figured there was probably an even better way to wrap this cord, a right way. I noticed a slot and slid the cord through it, and then it made sense. It was after I slid the cord through that I saw and understood. I had to experience the right way to understand. Now it was connected the way it was intended. I finally figured out how this works. No more getting unplugged.